When Barack Obama arrived in Washington as a newly elected senator in early 2005, he landed in the middle of an environmental firestorm. Obama had been assigned a seat on the Senate's Environment and Public Works Committee, and the first order of business was the Clean Skies Act. The brainchild of the Bush administration, the CSA was presented as an initiative to reduce air pollution and boost the economy. It was applauded by industry groups, but drew sharp criticism from environmentalists and many Democrats, who said the move would weaken existing clean air regulations, loosen gaps on a wide range of air pollutants, delay the enforcement of smog and soot standards, and exempt power plants from rules requiring them to comply with modern emission standards. That put Obama in an awkward position. As a state legislator in Springfield, he had cultivated a reputation as a staunch supporter of environmental issues. In 2003, he had been one of just 6 senators to receive a 100% ranking from the Illinois Environmental Council. But he'd also gone out of his way to build ties with downstate Democrats and their Cold Belt constituents. Months earlier, on the campaign trail, he had promised Illinois' miners that he'd fight to defend their interest. Now, on the national stage, Obama found himself pegged as a key swing vote on the Environment Committee and the focus of intensive lobbying from both environmental advocates and representatives of big coal. Even the Bush administration sought to twist Obama's arm, sending Stephen Johnson, shortly to be appointed head of the Environmental Protection Agency, to rally support for the legislation in the economically distressed coal country of southern Illinois. In the end, of course, Obama voted against Clear Skies, deadlocking the Environment Committee and effectively killing the legislation. For the Beltway environmental crowd, it was a sign that their instincts had been correct. Obama was one of them. Quote, "He was pulled in 2 directions," says Frank O'Donnell, director of nonpartisan pressure group Clean Air Watch. But when push came to shove, he swallowed hard and sided with the environmentalists, knowing that he'd be filleted for it back home. It was an impression that Obama did his best to cultivate, laughing off the pressure that he had been under. He told me that he didn't go through the effort of being elected to the U.S. Senate just to vote in whichever way was most politically advantageous at a given moment, recalls Jack Darren, director of the Illinois Sierra Club. He said it was an easy vote because it was clear what was in the public interest. But Obama also threw himself into winning back the coal miners he had snubbed, pushing for bankruptcy reforms that would help out-of-work miners in southern Illinois get more of the pay owed to them by defunct mining companies, lobbying successfully for his home state to be chosen as the site of a controversial $1 billion clean coal project, and voting in favor of a contentious energy bill containing $9 billion in coal subsidies. Later he went further still, joining Kentucky Republican Jim Bunning to introduce legislation designed to spur the development of coal-to-liquid technology, a filthy, energy-intensive process whereby coal can be converted into diesel and jet fuel. To some Beltway environmental advocates, Obama's role in blocking the Clear Skies legislation and his subsequent efforts to redeem himself in the eyes of coal belt voters speak to a tension that cuts to the heart of his environmental philosophy. Obama is among the most liberal lawmakers in the Senate, a genuine progressive with a stellar record on most environmental issues and a fine grasp of the minutiae of the energy debate. But he's a pragmatist, not an idealist. Though genuinely sympathetic to Greens, he tends to cast himself as a consensus builder rather than an environmental purist.